Okay, I want to discuss very briefly um, the claim in the book of Hebrews that Melchizedek was a divine being. Very quickly, Genesis chapter 14, verses 17 to 20. The king of Sodom went out to meet him, that is Abraham, after his return from defeating Chedorlaomer and the kings that were with him in the valley of Sheva, which is the king's valley. And Melchizedec, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine, and he was the priest of God the Most High. He blessed him and said, Blessed is Abram of God the Most High, the acquirer of heaven and earth. And blessed is God the Most High, who has delivered your foes into his hand. And he, Abraham, gave him a tenth of everything. The claim of the book of Hebrews is that because the father, mother, and descent of Melchizedek is not listed, therefore Melchizedek was not a human, he was a divine being. I want to refute that with Genesis chapter 18, verse 2. This is Abraham's response when he sees angels. And he lifted his eyes and saw, and behold, 3 men standing before him. He ran towards them from the entrance of his tent, and he bowed to the ground. This is how Abraham's response is when he sees angels. This is how he responds each time he gets a vision of any divine image or any divine apparition, I guess you could say. Anytime that angels appear to him or that he has a vision of the divine, this is what he does. He falls on his face and prostrates himself. We do not see him do that before Melchizedek, which I think is proof that Melchizedek was not a divine being. Had Abraham recognized him as a divine being, he would have responded the same way he did to every other divine being. So who was Melchizedek? Who was Melchizedek? Looking at what had happened, Abraham had just come back from the slaughter of several kings. Chedorlaomer, one of the defeated kings, was described as the king of Elam, and Elam was one of the sons of Shem. And so that the king of Salem brought Abraham bread and wine. This was a conciliatory gesture that Abraham had killed this person who was a relative of the king of Salem, and the king of Salem was saying that he forgave Abraham for it. So people take this to mean that Chedorlaomer was the grandson of Shem, and that Melchizedek is another name for Shem, which does make sense because the bringing of the bread and wine was a hint towards the meal offerings and the drink offerings that would be offered in the Holy Temple. And Jerusalem, of course, being Salem, by bringing these to Abraham, the king of Salem was a prophet and was speaking of the future events, the future Holy Temple, and the offerings that would be brought there. And we do know that Shem was a prophet. Okay, so I hope that clarifies for you this rather interesting passage.